right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Temperatures are supposed to be in the mid-60s this time of the year, but this week will be dominated by much warmer than average temperatures. What that means and when we'll see fall return just ahead.
Thousands of students' education may be on the line. The scholarship program set to expire soon that could force some students to change schools.
At the end of the day, all we have is each other, especially being Muslim here in this country. There's not much of us out here, so us standing together really makes a difference.
Right now, this isn't about politics. This is about terrorists who came over and murdered people.
Two sides of the conflict. How in the same day, St. Louisans spoke out in support of both Israel and Palestine. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Mike Bush. Tonight we're starting with news from Gaza. A second round of aid trucks went into the region from the Egyptian border today. 15 crossed into Gaza, but several more are still waiting to get in and will need to go through further security checks. Palestinian officials say a constant stream of aid is the only solution to what they say is a humanitarian crisis. As airstrikes from Israel continue and hospitals become overwhelmed, aid groups say the lack of supplies could lead to more deaths. Israel is now dropping flyers into northern Gaza saying anyone who does not evacuate southward will be considered a terrorist. This is coming before an anticipated ground invasion of the region from its northern border. According to the United Nations, evacuating the nearly 1.1 million people there would be impossible. According to Gaza's Ministry of Health, 260 people, nearly half of them children, have been killed in the past 24 hours alone. Tonight, Israelis and Palestinians in St. Louis are continuing to rally as tensions heighten. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer explains how the two groups are gaining more support from communities in the city.
Emotions are raw.
And the question is what else could Israel do? Israel's damned if you do and damned if you don't.
And tensions are high.
It's not a conflict, it's not a war, it's a genocide.
Both Israelis and Palestinians say what's happening is terrifying. Through it all, St. Louisans continue to show support to both sides by rallying and protesting.
Sunday, Israelis held a rally and silent prayer protest in Forest Park. Both Jewish people and members of other faith communities gathered, calling for solidarity with Israel.
It is very hard being Jewish in this world today, and even harder to be an Israeli. It seems like the world just doesn't care about us anymore.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free!
In the same evening, just minutes away in downtown Clayton, Palestinians held an emergency protest, hundreds waving flags and chanting, calling for a ceasefire in Gaza.
All we have is each other, especially being Muslim here in this country. There's not much of us out here, so us standing together really makes a difference.
As days turn to weeks and more people are killed, both Israelis and Palestinians continue to hold journalists accountable in telling their stories correctly.
Seeing the lies and the rumors and the misinformation going on around on social media and on the news and basically everywhere, it is just very frustrating.
It's biased, they only cover one side, they're never covering our side. It makes us feel like we're the bad guys and they're the good guys.
Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
The UN's Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs says about 1.5 million people have been displaced in Gaza, more than 60% of the population. You can follow all the latest news on the Israel-Hamas war and find ways to support those impacted by texting the word Israel to 314-425-5355. Well, today wasn't a picture-perfect fall day. There was still a splatter of color and defiance. And while we're seeing more oranges and reds in the foliage, it looks like later this week we're going to be missing some of that blue in the sky. We're joining our meteorologist, Gary Frank, for our weather first forecast tonight. Gary?
Yeah, good evening. We're just trying to find a little bit of rain here over the next few days or at all. And I think that this next week's really important for you to get out and enjoy those colors, because I think after that week, not only the color's going to diminish just because of the time of the year, but just because of our weather pattern. Right now, it's as quiet as can be. As we look at the airport, a little bit milder than it's been over the last couple of mornings, as there are a few clouds starting to hang around. We saw them just around sunset, but temperatures have fallen into the 40s in some cases outside of the city, mid-50s in the city. You'll see where that warmer air is is off to the southwest. That's what I think is going to hold our temperatures fairly steady over the coming hours, and that's going to be an important cog for us over the next few days. Not as cool overnight, 49 degrees. The next few days, though, it's not very fall-like despite those colors that you just saw in Defiance, but we do have better chances for rain this week. We're also looking at our first freeze. Finally, it's taken a while. Some of us have seen some frost, but not a hard freeze. We'll talk about when we expect that and why we've got plenty more 80s in between then.
Gary, thanks. Tuesday will mark 1 year since the shooting at Central Visual and Performing Arts campus. The tragedy took the lives of teacher Jean Kushka and student Alexandria Bell. In remembrance of the shooting, CVPA and collegiate high schools will be closed tomorrow and Tuesday. The bullet-related injury clinic will host a healing event this week to help those still feeling the pain from that day. Thousands of students in Illinois may find out this week if they can continue their private education at no cost to them. A scholarship program that gives donors a tax break for sponsoring kids' tuition costs is set to expire if the legislature doesn't extend it. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, reports on what's at stake for one high school sophomore and her single mom in Glen Carbon.
The rigors of 10th grade are testing Isabella Benvenuto.
I don't do good in big school environments. Smaller schools help me be able to focus more.
We met her in the halls of Father McGivney High School, where her single mother, Jolene, a disabled Army veteran, dropped her off.
Everything adds up. Everything. Rent, food.
She's already looking ahead at her finances, wondering how she'll make ends meet if she has to add the cost of her daughter's tuition to her stack of medical bills from 13 surgeries.
It would be, if not impossible, it would be extremely, extremely devastating financially.
Statewide, more than 5,000 donors got tax breaks for giving more than $75 million combined, enough to help Isabella and nearly 10,000 other students enroll. But the program is scheduled to expire before the end of next school year.
It's already in effect. It's already working. It's not affecting public schools. So why do we need to delete it whenever it works? Because all you're doing is taking away from our future.
So Isabella took on a homework project of a different kind, learning how to lobby her elected officials.
It's a lot easier for me to talk to adults than it is for kids my age.
The feedback she's gotten so far suggests her cause may face an uphill climb at the State House.
They don't want to do it because they want more funding to go towards public schools, which is fine.
The tax break for donors does not defund public schools. The state just doesn't collect those taxes.
This is not just a small population.
Principal Joe Lombardi says the program has helped 85 kids get into Father McGivney so far, and across the state, demand is growing, with a waiting list of 26,000 kids hoping to get their foot in the door at a private school near them.
It tells me that there's a need. It tells me that people are looking for ways to get the best for their student.
The program got this boost from Governor J.B. Pritzker Thursday.
I will support it if it comes to my desk to extend the program in whatever form.
But the governor's lifeline requires the House and Senate to take action first.
That when they vote against this, or they don't choose to extend it, they're actually harming kids.
Isabella says if the program expires, she'll pack up her locker and enroll in public school. Her plea to politicians: consider the golden rule.
Think of if their child had to go through this.
Reporting in Glen Carbon, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Illinois lawmakers begin the fall veto session on Tuesday. A man is dead after being hit by a car. It happened early this morning at the intersection of Chippewa and Merrimack in South St. Louis City. According to some, this street has been a source of problems for pedestrians for a while. Liz Kramer is co-chair of the St. Louis Community Mobility Committee. She says Chippewa and other streets have bad infrastructure. Part of the reason, she says, the streets are just too wide.
The wider the street is, the more likely people are to drive fast. Even if the speed limit is pretty low, it makes it feel like you can go really quickly through them. So when you have those narrower streets, people are going to drive a little bit more carefully. It's going to naturally slow them down.
Yeah, according to her, the likelihood of a deadly accident for pedestrians increases with every mile of speed. Walking to raise awareness and funds for juvenile diabetes. The Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation hosted the walk this morning at Merrimack Community College in Kirkwood. I was honored to be the MC, and there were also games, a parade, special appearances from some familiar faces, Many there support family members who live with the condition. Some parents in attendance, like Mike and Anna Barrett, work around the clock to help their kids through the challenges they face.
He didn't quite understand what was going on when he was first diagnosed, and that was a little bit hard, trying to understand how things were going to be kind of for the rest of his life, for foreseeable future. And that was quite an adjustment, but he's a warrior and he's doing quite well. He's an amazing little boy.
Money raised during the event will go towards more research on type 1 diabetes and further advocacy and support for those who have it.
A soccer prodigy making a difference. How a community service project is giving kids with special needs more than just a learning tool.
I just thought it would be great for kids to, have this item so they can have fun in school.
The clash of the seasons, that's typical fall weather. But when we see that cold air finally win out as we track our next fall cold front and what that means for Halloween.
And I hope you'll stick around with me for Sports Plus. Yeah, you heard that right. It's only been 20 years. What will the Cardinals realistically do to get better next season? I sit down with one of the best baseball writers in America, Derek Gould from the Post-Dispatch, to get some answers.
The way they sign pitchers before, that's not happening in the market. The industry has not only caught up to the way the Cardinals operated, but surpassed them.
Plus, we'll look back at better Cardinal memories from 40 years ago. That's all in about 15 minutes. Hope you'll stick around.